Hello from Cozumel. It occurred to me that there's a lot of new cruisers out there that might not know what they're supposed to do when they get on a cruise ship, so I thought I'd share. First thing I got to do is find a bathroom. Now, if you're like me, it doesn't take long and it's time to go. Men's room on ships is on the port side of the ship, so if you're facing forward, it's on the left. Ladies' room is on the right, it is on the starboard side. Now, if you can't remember which way that is, the ship has various models and maps on the ship that all have little ships on them, and with a little red "You Are Here" dot. Those are always oriented correctly. So if you're looking at a model and the front of the ship is to the left, then the left side is actually the front of the ship. They don't turn them around, they don't mess them up. So that's one way to tell where you're at. Again, the men's is on the port or the left side for facing the front, and the women's is on the right. Next thing we got to do is we got to set up our internet, and there's several ways to do it. If you pre-buy your internet package, you can just have one package for two people most times, unless you're a power user. Lisa and I typically just use a single device, and we can kick the other person off when one person's not using it. So you can use two packages at once if you need to, or each person can have their own, but it does double the price. It just depends on how much internet you end up using and how often you need to use it. Just using one person sharing the username and password works just fine. We only get one device if we are paying for it. Our loyalty level does give us each one device, but before we got this loyalty level, we were just using one device, and it would kick the person that's not using it off without any difficulty at all, and you can do it as many times as you want, so don't worry about the internet necessarily, again, unless you are a power user. Now, as far as internet speed goes, we have not had any issues with the internet speed on board the ships. They do use Starlink with Royal, and Starlink for us has been just fine. We have done video calls, we've done Zoom calls, we've done FaceTime calls, we've done streaming movies, we've done all of that stuff. We haven't had any issues at all with the speed. I'll put a graphic of the upload and download speed of the last time I did a speed test on board, and you can see just exactly how that shakes out. It's not really been a problem for us. And again, we have done Zoom calls, and Lisa does work remotely now. She's a travel agent, as most of you are aware, and she can access all of the stuff she needs to access to do work and meetings and videos and that sort of stuff without any difficulty at all. Something you may need to be prepared for is the weather. It's usually just like it is today, nice and sunny. It's currently about 85 degrees, 80% humidity here in Cozumel, and it is pretty muggy. We did have a monsoon storm a little bit earlier. I can show a video of that at this point, but it lasted for, I don't know, 5 minutes, then it cleared up, and then there's not been any issues at all. No clouds to speak of, no lingering storms. It's just beautiful water, beautiful sky, and a great time on board. I do pack a small raincoat in case I need it. It comes in handy for the wind. If you're in a cold place, we will be going to Alaska for 6 weeks later on this year, so we'll have that cold weather or windbreaker. Lisa does pack beanies and coats because she's cold-blooded, and she's going to need that sort of stuff, but I typically don't. I'm typically only in a pair of shorts and a lightweight shirt like the one I've got on now. I usually don't even bring pants. If we're not going to Alaska, I don't even pack pants. But since we were going to Alaska, I do have a pair of pants. Actually, a pair of jeans and a pair of lightweight, dressier pants, but you don't really need them unless you're gonna go someplace really fancy. We don't do the specialty dining. When we do, it's just a steakhouse, and they don't care if you're wearing cargo shorts and a collared shirt. That's just fine. You don't even have to wear a collared shirt if you don't want to. They just don't allow tank tops, and they don't allow swimsuits in the specialty restaurants. But as far as the regular buffet, that's totally fine. There's not any issues with dress code And again, I normally don't bring pants, so if you're concerned about dress codes, don't worry about it. Wear what you're comfortable in and wear what you like. Nothing else really matters. It's your vacation, you do what you want to do. When we get to the pier, we always let the porters have our bags. We tip them a couple bucks per bag, or we normally only have 2 small bags, so we'll tip them $5 for the 2 bags. And they will show up at your room not later than 3 p.m. The rooms all open up on Royal right at 1 o'clock, and they'll make an announcement you can go to your rooms at 1. So if you're arriving after 1 and you don't want to wait on your luggage, you can bring all your luggage on with you. That's totally fine. Just put it through security just like you would for TSA at an airport. So if your luggage is bulkier, then you're going to have to manage all of that. The elevators will be busy on the first day, so be prepared to wait if you're toting your luggage around. And again, we don't mess with it. Even though we do sometimes get here after 1 o'clock, we just give it to the porter so we don't have to carry it. And getting off, you can do the same thing. You can either carry it with you and leave at your leisure starting at about 7 o'clock in the morning, or you can put it out the night before your last day when you get off the ship, and then you can have them take it to the pier for you, and it'll be inside by customs when you get off the ship, and you'll just have to wait for your number to get called. Sometimes that takes a bit. It's never later than 9 o'clock in the morning normally, especially out of Galveston. It's a lot sooner than that. So it just depends on whether or not you're in a hurry to get off the ship, you've got an early flight, or whatever you're doing. There's just really for us no reason to hurry to get off the ship. When we do get off the ship, we do carry our own luggage off. So we don't put it out the night before just because we don't want to have to make sure we've got everything for that night. So we do carry our luggage off, but we do not carry it on. But that's all personal preference, whatever way you want to do it. Both of them are acceptable. Both of them work just fine. We've done them both and haven't had any particular difficulties either way. It just depends on what it is that you want to do. I would highly recommend a European adapter plug for your room because there's only 2 110 volt plugs, and there is a dedicated European 220 plug. So if your devices are compatible with 220, that would be the device to plug in there. You can get them off of Amazon for about 10 bucks. I've got a link in our Amazon storefront. We are affiliates for Amazon. We can get a small commission if you decide to use that link to make your purchase of that, but it does give you an additional port. The only thing you can't do with those is you can't add more than one 110 volt port. There are a bunch of plugs that say they're cruise safe, and they let you add 5 or 6 different 110 ports to it, but those are typically seized by security when you try and check in. So I wouldn't waste your money on those. Just get one that has 1 additional port. The European plug adapters that we have in our storefront provide 2 additional USB and 2 additional USB-C ports, as well as converting it to 110. So they give you a total of 3 plugs. If you do need a CPAP or other device like that, you cannot bring extension cords, but they will provide extension cords for you, and they will also provide distilled water. Just fill out the special needs form before you cruise, and they will make sure that that is in your stateroom waiting for you when you get there. So don't worry about having to bring any of that stuff. That's all a routine item for them. The all aboard time is absolute. So if they say all aboard time is 2:30, it's 2:30. At 2:31, you're not getting on the ship. The ship leaves an hour and a half after all aboard time, and if you're not there in time, they're not going to hold the ship, they're not going to hold the gangways, you're going to be out of luck. Once you get on board, there's restaurants that are open. You can go up to the buffet, you can go to the main dining room, make your reservations for dinners if you want to do that. We typically don't do that. We typically eat in the Windjammer, the buffet on Royal, because it's all included. It's super quick. The food is pretty much the same as it is at any of the other restaurants, only you get it quicker, and when you're done you can leave. If you go into the main dining room, it may take you an hour, hour and a half for dinner, which is fine if you're wanting to do that. We typically don't want to do that. We want to go do other things, go back to the room, cool down, take a shower, watch a movie, watch some TV, any of that stuff. So it just depends on kind of on what you want to do. If it's your first time cruising, I'd say go to the main dining room just to experience it. If you have any health concerns, they're very good with dietary restrictions, and they will ask you when you first sit down if you have any. If you do, let your waiter know, and they will get the head waiter over to you to make sure that everything is suitable for your dietary needs. And I hope that kind of explains the first day and what it is that we do when we're on board, and hope to see you on board a cruise sometime. Take care.